Okay, I've been putting this off, but it's time to rip this carb apart. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by taking off the electric choke. I've watched a few YouTube videos on how to do this, how to take this carb apart. I've also had quite a bit of help off of comments. People have also been good enough to let me know where I can get reconditioned ones from, get exchange units, but they all seem to be places in America, which for me would be great, apart from the postage. It's a bit of a killer to get parts from America to here. They put a lot on it. So I've got the electric choke out of it, and now I'm just trying to get off the electric choke housing. And there's two Torx keys in here, one down the middle of the shaft and one that holds the housing in. I don't know if I've done the right thing, but I've took them both out. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'm going at, but I'm just sort of looking at the screws that hold things together and taking them out and pulling bits off. I've gone round it first with the camera. I've taken like loads of pictures of linkages, screws, where things are, to try and have a bit of a record, so to help me put it back together, which I think is probably a good idea. There's the electric choke lever. There's a little lever inside there which has dropped down and jammed in there. I can't get it out. I'll give it a good shake and it drops out. It's on the cardboard there. I hadn't noticed. Chuck the carb back down on top of it. Now I'm pulling off this. I've got a little plastic tub here for all my little bits, all the screws and stuff. Taking off the fuel filter housing now. There's a fuel filter, there's the fitting, there's the spring. Now I'm taking off the little vacuum device that goes on it. I'm not sure what this is for, to be honest with you. It obviously serves some reason. Obviously, when the engine's sucking, it's obviously sucking on a lever that's pulling on something. I had a little suck and a blow in it. Seems to be working fine, so that can go back on. I'm not going to soak that bit though, because I don't want any solvents to affect the diaphragm inside. Pull that linkage off. Now I'm knocking out the pin that the accelerator pump lever pivots on. This is a little roll pin, and I've seen on YouTube you don't knock it all the way through, so you've got enough room to get a screwdriver in behind it to push it back into place once you've done. Now I'm getting on with, oh yeah, this is a little bit in the middle. I hadn't got a Torx key that fitted this, but a little pair of pipe grips, grip the side of it, undid the screw, lift that off, and that brings out these two little needle doohickey things. Like I say, I ain't got a clue what they are, because I ain't got a clue what I'm doing. So, but there's a good go of crap on them. I'm expecting to see that right the way through the whole of the inside of this carburettor. So, I'm going to carry on now, getting out all the bolts, all the screws that hold this top plate down. Okay, this top plate is obviously the choke assembly with the 4 choke butterflies. Obviously it's a 4-barrel carburettor, so there's 4 choke butterflies in there. I've heard it called various different things. Choke plate, top plate, air horn. Quite like the air horn. I think that's quite a good name for it, the amount of air that this thing probably sucks in. And there's 2 little Torx keys down in the smaller Venturas, down in there. So these, get them out. When I was taking these out, I found that I had to have that choke butterfly right closed, or right open, sorry, otherwise it fouled the top of the screws and I couldn't get them out. So get that, undo them, one either side, one in each Venturi. Now I had to use a socket to give me an extra bit of leverage on the end of my Torx key. Hold the butterfly in the right open position so that the Torx key doesn't foul the bottom of the butterfly. and get them out, put all those screws in my little tub, a tub of screws and springs. Then I've got this one bolt down to the middle. This is what holds my flame arrestor in place, or I mean, it could hold an air filter or something, but this, on my engine, it's classed as a flame arrestor. And now this top plate should prise off. It's broken free from the gasket, and just gently going round it, getting it to lift off. And then off it comes. There you go. Now you can see on that is the accelerator pump seized into the top of my air horn. There it is. It's there's those 4 tubes on it. I'm not sure what they are. I think they're all blocked anyway, with a bit of alley corrosion in there. Peel off more crappy gasket. Okay, and then I've got this is this spring on the bottom of my accelerator pump, and it's stuck in there. Now I don't want to drag on this too hard because I don't really want to stretch it, but it is stuck in there real well, and it still ain't come out. It's in there. I'm gonna have to give it a dose of some freeing oil in a minute, but I'll just see how much further I can get. That plate there I thought lifted out, but that's stuck in. Got this plastic, there's the float. They've got this plastic cover piece here in the back, which is in the fuel bowl. Just lift that up, and that just seems to drop in, so just lifted that out, and there we have the inside of it, absolutely full of junk. Okay, there's the seized in throttle spring. I'm not sure, is that a power plunger there in the middle of that? I'm not sure, but it's probably got to come out. So there you go. It's all in there, rust and all. Like I say, this engine's been stood for donkeys. Okay, now I've got to get these plunger thing here with these 2 needles things on out, and it's in there rock solid. I'll just try freeing it off, and that top bit comes off. So the actual plunger there it's still seized in. I'm just going to soak the whole carburettor. There's the float out. There's the needle out. And I'm going to another bit of plastic. I think that lines up with 2 of the needles that come up and down those 2 holes in that plastic. I'm going to take out the needle valve seat. Not needle valve, sorry. The float valve seat. That's come out. That's quite good. Quite a bit of it's coming out. There's a little gasket in the bottom of there, which I'm just trying to pick out. That's on there real well. And it does ping off, and it does come out. There we go. Now some freeing all around that accelerator pump spring. There's 2 jets here. No, sorry, that's not the jet. That's the non-return valve for the accelerator pump. It's like a screw with a little rod on the end of it, and then in the bottom of that hole is a little tiny ball bearing which acts as a non-return valve. So when you operate the accelerator pump, it pushes petrol past it and down into the carburettor to get it into the engine. Whipping out the jets now. One there, another one there. Get them out. There's the jets, put them into my little bits tub, and that's probably almost as much as I can get out of here now. And that plunger bit there, that's stuck in well, that is. Now we're going to crack it over now, and we're going to take off the bottom plate. Now the bottom plate is like your throttle butterfly housing, and that comes off. That's held on with 2 crosshead screws. Pretty tight, but they've come undone. 1, 2, and then I've got to get that free of the actual carburettor housing. So there's only one thing for it, is to get the trusty hammer and just give it I'm not really whacking it, I'm just giving it enough to try and break it free of that gasket. And away it comes, it's off. And it's that gasket stuck on there real well. It's quite a good, thick, sort of heavy duty gasket, that is. Yeah, go. Peel that off. And then I'm going to get that and I'm going to put that in my soaking tub along with all the other bits. That's the throttle housing. A couple of litres of pine sol. I had to get a couple more litres of pine sol, obviously, to cover it with it. And then I'll put some pine sol in my little bits tub to soak all those in. And then I did have to get quite a bit more pine sol. Okay, you can't actually buy that off the shelf here. I had to order it off the internet. Anyway, put it to bed. Well, and that's it. That's the carbon bits. Let's see if it goes back together again. That'll be a bit of a laugh, won't it? I have managed to get out that plunger in the middle that was seized in. I had to sort of try and tap it down a little bit with a hammer and some grips on the top of it, and it did slide out eventually, but there was a little tiny spring behind it. I'm not sure if I've got to get another one of those or not yet. I'll have to have a closer inspection of that. Just like to say thanks again for watching. I'd also like to thank you very much for your comments and your input. I've had some good advice about having it bead blasted and cleaned out and stuff like that. YouTube's a marvellous thing. I mean, I hadn't got a clue what I was doing to take that apart, and I've watched some videos of people that knew what they were doing, and that really helped me. Also, like your comments and your advice, it's invaluable. I mean, like I say, I'm going into all this green. I've had a bit to do with boats before. I've never had anything to do with a big inboard petrol engine, so it's all a bit of a learning curve, and any sort of advice, it's always welcomely received. I do appreciate it, and I'll put it into place as I'm going on. I do take it all in. I do appreciate it, and I'd like to thank you very much for it. I'd also like to thank you for watching, because if you don't watch these videos, there's no point me making them. But I do like it. You can see what I'm trying to do, and if it helps someone else, that's brilliant. If you enjoy watching it, that's brilliant as well. I do appreciate it. So don't forget, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. They're always good to see. It encourages me to do a bit more. And don't forget to leave a comment, all right? Any advice or whatever. You know, if you see me doing anything wrong, bang a comment in. So I'd need to know, because like I say, I'm going into it green. But thanks a lot. Don't forget, thumbs up if you liked it, comment if you want. Don't forget, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. The engine's going back together slowly. Unfortunately, this time of year, I'm really busy because everybody wants everything done just before Christmas, as usual. So, but it is all an ongoing thing, and hopefully we'll get it all back in the boat and have a bit of a laugh. Now, see you soon. Bye.